Good morning and welcome to today's live show. Just a quick note, okay, you have about 6 days left to get both of those courses down in the description for 90% off. You can literally get swing trading and the full technical analysis course, everything that I use in my technical analysis in order to trade. And we explain things very thoroughly for only $150 to get both of them right now. If you just want to get the technical analysis course, that one is the great one for $100. It is 90% off. We're not going back down to that price point. We might see a flash sale around Christmas around that price point, but we'll see. We'll see later on. Other than that, guys, we're paying attention to a lot, right? We were talking about over the weekend the possibility for us being in a lie and some traps being set. And now we're starting to see some of these traps possibly being set. We notice that we are going up towards the monthly expected move. We notice that we are outside of a daily expected move. We notice we have a weekly expected move above us. So even though this monthly is here, it can be used as resistance. We could see that as a trap right now if this 2-hour chart's able to curl down early on in the day. We don't necessarily see 30-minute weakness though. If you really pull up this 30-minute, this is most likely going to violate anything here, turn up, and this actually would be an okay thing because we want that 30-minute to tell us when there is weakness outside of here, to give us that hint of when that 2-hour is going to cross down. And you notice if we actually were able to hold at these higher levels and see one more curl up, we might actually see that 30-minute divergence. So that is something I'm paying attention to. If the 30-minute can pull back from these areas because of a daily expected move, because of a monthly, or is the 2-hour just going to end up flashing up and flashing right back down? And now you do have some inclinations of a bigger drop if this were to turn down, right? This hasn't happened yet. This could be a whole new bull sequence, right? We can see something crazy, but if these signals start confirming to the downside, if this actually confirms, we see that crossover, we know there's a high probability that can go into a negative trend, and maybe we're going to see a little bit of a correction. Okay, so that's the main thing I'm paying attention to. Very, very bullish here, right? Very bullish move, still bullish. The signal is not really bearish, no weakness there until it confirms. And I want to make sure to say that plenty of times today because I don't want you to think like, hey, this thing's turning down when the signals are not saying that. Okay, this is a very bullish thing right now. I think we are doing something that is probably going to be a trap. But just in case it's not, I'm going to wait for confirmation of those signals. That's when I know this could be a trap, right? I think this can be a trap because we're doing something unexpected. I know this can be a trap because that rolls back down on the 2-hour. That's what we're going to be looking out for. Hopefully the 30-minute gives us a hint. I'm being genuine about that, even for the Qs. And we'll notice this about the Qs. Not touching the monthly, not able to get to the weekly, and just now crossing the daily. So something interesting here would be if the Qs make that lower high, that would be a big sign of weakness for the 2-hour to get some kind of lower high and we just start turning down. If this is going to remain bullish, maybe we need to see that divergence on the Qs and the SPY at the same time. So that's mainly what I'm going to pay attention to there. Now, the things that we were just talking about last week, Wolf still seeing a nice move, fantastic there. We do notice that stocks like Mara are seeing this rip after we kind of called out the fact that there was 30-minute divergence right here, and this looks like a strong move to a sell zone. We're still going, so it looks nice. We can see DJT still struggling to see any price action from this breakout. You just see it completely go dead, which is very fishy, obviously, always. Palantir seeing a nice move here, and this is where the 2-hour curling up, right? So the 2-hour curled up at the end of Friday, and we do notice that that is making that upward move. Watch if that turns down at the, towards the end of the day or even into tomorrow, because if you still hold all these divergence points, it could mean weakness. If you do not hold these divergence points, you could be in a whole new sequence of upside, okay? It's very good to pay attention to a 2-hour or Palantir. Gold saw a little rip down. That does make a lot of sense, and you are starting to hit some key levels again. For gold, we always talked about, hey, head and shoulders could pop up. We skipped that, so maybe you're getting an overreaction. We'll see if that can do something, but right now it looks like you're just retesting the 5-day moving average. As we go over into stuff like Microsoft, right? We were calling out Microsoft saying this looked like a decent setup because you have a very obvious sell zone, very obvious gap to fill up in here. So we can pay attention to that. We have weekly expected moves for this over on Patreon. Okay, join the Patreon. It will really help you out. And in 2024 or 2025, I would give it a shot. if you aren't a believer in these weekly expected moves, just put it on your charts, right? Join the Patreon for a month. There's no cancellation fee, anything like that. It's just join for a cup of coffee, see if it helps you out with some of your trades. All right. And if there's a stock you really want to see on there, if you can get enough people to tell me to put it on there, I'll probably put it on the list, right? That's why DJT's on there. We do notice that we almost had a slight diamond formation here for Microsoft. And we're actually seeing that break to the upside after creating all this divergence and a bunch of liquidity. So this can be a strong move. We'll see if it continues. It looks decent. Another one that looked decent to us was Amazon. We were just waiting for some positivity. We're finally getting that, which might be enough to curl up the 2 hour. So if Amazon can take back this 5-day moving average, you see how it would have a little bit more time. And on Patreon, you have a weekly expected move. Everyone's going to be talking about, oh, this cup and handling, but what if your weekly expected move is right here and you just go like this, right? And then it continues. So that's where having weekly expected moves really help you. If you're able to get up to this level, I would say this level up here, if you're able to get up into there, turn back down, well, you have yourself maybe some little structure in here to actually head higher. Some good liquidity grab on a drop off of a weekly expected move would be a good thing. AMC starting off the day looking good. Remember, daily positive, 2 hour positive, 30-minute. You need that to turn up today, okay? So if AMC is going to see something good, you got to get the 30-minute positive as well. Then you have all of the signals here for, hey, you could potentially see a good upward move. It's obviously going to be a continued battle between short sellers and traders. And we notice that GameStop, this one, the 30-minute is down, right? We need that to curl up. The 2 hour is still pointing down with divergence, suggesting that GameStop is going to have a daily pullback, even though this is a very similar look to when the big moment happened years ago. This is like the exact same look, right? A divergence that gets violated and then it ends up just turning up, but we have not seen that big gap up yet. We do have earnings later on this week. All right, so for GameStop, the only thing you really have going for you is the daily is positive, but you are seeing 2 hour reversal signals saying that GameStop's going to pull back. Just a note about earnings. Earnings almost every single time ends up going lower, right? Earnings almost every single time ends up going lower, right? And then there's sometimes a reaction the next day, but just know you see that E down there. They see it too. The people you're actually in battle with, they see that E down there too. And so they're probably prepared to fight the stock this week. It will be a situation of, can buyers outbuy the selling? And that's the thing. And hopefully there's enough people buying on the actual exchange instead of doing it through some brokerages, because sometimes they can route those to dark pools, right? Kind of the wholesale problem. Payment for order flow problems. Now, one thing to note here about the SPY would be interesting, because the SPY could make a small daily divergence, which technically, if the Qs make the lower high and aren't able to curl up this MACD, technically you would have an argument for this could be a major top. I still think at this point it will be corrected. If it turns down weekly charts, I'm still going to react like it can be some kind of bad thing that draws down for a long time. I'm still leaning towards some kind of correction going into December, and then we actually see if in the early week or mid weeks of December we actually see a turnaround. So that's something I'm paying attention to. But you would see how, if we had an update today, maybe another little update tomorrow, and we see that fade a little bit, well, you would have yourself daily divergence that could confirm down here. So something to be aware of. We will keep this on a 30-minute, right? And we're going to see if we can stay above this daily expected move. Right, because most likely we're going to see some kind of consolidation here. If this is going to get really bullish and be a massive trap, watch out for this, right? The thumbnail for the video yesterday was there's going to be a trap in some direction. We just have to see which direction that's going to be. And with a little bit more price action, we can start to tell, well, this looks like a potential trap for the upside. Get people really bullish right now, correct the market, which is what our timeline was overall saying here, that we've been saying is, how could you hurt the most traders? Well, you get this thing to go bullish, you get it to an all-time high, then they go, oh no, something bad, and this, crashes down 5 to 10%, and then they say, oh no, it's going to crash, no Santa rally, and then this dips right back up. And we just turn back up into positive territory, and we see an uptrend for a few weeks. That's what I think would happen here. Doesn't matter what I think. If I see a bad signal, I am going to be paying attention to it. I am going to make sure to manage my risk. And then if I see reversals, that's when I will make a decision if this is going to turn up, right? I'm just waiting for the indicators to give me those hints, something that you can really learn in the course. You can look through it multiple times. Once you get it, it's yours. It's not pay for an hour's worth or whatever. Someone has asked me that. I'm like, no, when you buy it, you buy it. It's yours. And if I add to it, you don't have to pay anything extra. So you might as well get it while it's on a discount. Right, it's like, even if I think like, hey, I might need another couple of months before I can really learn about this stuff, maybe I'm pretty new, it's like, well, get it while it's $150 for both instead of getting it for $600 later or something for both. Oh, and the other thing, today, guys, we will be doing some closing streams this week. I'm going to see if I can do it today, starting today. I think some closing streams would be good. We have a little shortened week, so I have a day off where I could pretty much do some extra things. So I think I could time it out to where I could do some closing streams. Hopefully you guys are cool with that. Thank you, Maurice. Really appreciate you saying that. Completely worth buying the course. I appreciate that. Thoughts on TLT? Well, TLT, we've said the big reaction is coming. Obviously, this has been a wonky one. And what we were paying attention was if the 30-minute could cross up. It never crossed back down, so that's great. Management of the trade might not have had to come in. And now you're noticing some daily side positivity. Now for TLT, important to have weekly expected moves, but if this is some reaction, this is different, okay? This is different than what's normally happened, right? It's almost like the 10-year yield is dropping. And I know you're asking about TLT. I think this is going to be potentially a good bottom. I think the weekly could turn up in positive territory, and we see this start to skyrocket, which is why I'm going to be a little bit of aware that this could be more than a corrective move, because you are seeing the yields drop dramatically. Like, we need to drop these things all of a sudden. And people getting really heavy into TLT. So TLT, I think weekly, is if that turns up, it looks great. It looks like it's going to go positive, and it could be in an upturn for a long time. I might have to put in my investment, right? I've already started to scale in a little bit in those areas because it feels like there's a lot of liquidity there, and it's going to get a big reaction. It already is seeing one. But I just want you to note the 10-year is turning down, the dollar is turning down, and these have been right now positively, right? We went over the fact that there was some kind of lie out there. These have been positive with the market. That's starting to change. So is this going to be the one time that the dollar and the 10-year are actually lying, or is the SPY going to follow these very soon and this is some kind of trap, right? That's how I'm reading into this right now, because these signals do not look good. So if like these signals look good for now, I want to see if they can hold them, if they can hold those signals, because if they just do this and turn back down, that's not going to be a good thing. That's going to be a bad thing, right? Pretty obviously a bad thing. So that's the main thing I'm taking away from this. We're seeing something different. Is it some kind of trap before we actually see this thing turn down, because it's been positively correlated with the 10-year yield? So now you have TLT and the SPY moving in the same direction. But if you had a trade with TLT, it's like, hey, where's my weekly expected move? Am I outside of that? It means, hey, now I can take some profit and just play with house money if I want. Tesla, let's go look at Tesla, because Tesla was interesting last week, and it ran right into our weekly expected move, right? The weekly expected move, we see that resistance, but we did get a breakout here. The thing I want to be aware of is if that 2-hour rotates back down, that will be a big deal. If the 30-minute rotates back down, that will be a big deal. So this is good. This is a good way to start Tesla and say, I'm not going to turn down right now. If that fades very quickly, that's kind of a different story, right? If this just goes like this and fades really quickly, that's not going to be good. All right, now I think this has potential to violate the divergence in the near price action. In short price, I'll get to you in a second, but I just think here you want to say, well, is this a great opportunity right now, or does it look like we're probably setting a trap? Right, we can see this thing blow off to the upside, but the most likely scenario here is this is going to be a trap. And you're going to see this 2-hour create the divergence again. You're going to see it turn down. You're going to see it's holding the significance of it, and this is going to be a little bit more of a pullback. Just talking pullback though. The daily does not have the big reversal signals for Tesla, but the market might make them, like now. Okay, short Fridays. AMC roared to its highest domestic revenue on the weekend before Thanksgiving in a 104-year anniversary. That is fantastic, and AMC is doing decent things, right? We can obviously see that AMC is doing good things, but We want to see if that can continue. And you're seeing that go. Like the 30-minute cross-up was all you need here, and you're getting that. The GME, you want to see these things go, go, go. You're seeing Wolf see some upside there. That's all good stuff, right? This is all good stuff. We just want to see if these things can hold for AMC and GME. As long as those things are turned up, they got a shot. Watch out for earnings. We could see a big move before earnings and see that thing clap down, right? We could see a big move down before earnings and see that thing go up. It's a 50-50 flip. I'll be chilling on it. Okay, let's see. We just mainly want to see if the SPY can hold this. If not, if it starts to give it up, we got to watch if 2 hours start to rotate back down. Okay, let me pull up my other charts here. Nothing seeing too much craziness just yet. Let me look for the big movers. Volatility is not giving us any hints right now, by the way. It is trying to turn up slightly, but that could be just a pullback mode. We don't even see a 30-minute divergence. We don't see a 2-hour. We see the 4-hour forming, but I would at least like to see some kind of 30-minute signal before we start to go, oh, volatility can pop off. Cool, good stuff. Oil saw a big drop. Gold, I would watch for a reaction from gold. Gold did something huge, gapping down below its weekly expected move. GLD. Wow, what a gap down, just straight into oversold. Holy crap. That was a freaking crazy move. All right, we're noticing we are holding as of now. We will see if that continues. I am still looking for the possibility to go to that weekly. Maybe even we base out, we do something like this. That's what I'm looking for from the 30-minute here to see if there's any kind of weakness. But right now, holding above the daily expected move. Are the Qs holding relatively, right? They are a little bit weaker than the SPY. But this could be the trap right here. We'll see. Might check the fear greed index by the end of the day. WM, DIA, everything's about to hit weekly expected moves, but check this. DIA starting to violate it too. So it could be an uptrend for a while if these violate things. You need to see a bigger 2-hour move for this to really say like, hey, I'm going higher, or you need it to base out and make the move later, right? Go like this and just boom, go through, don't turn back down. Interesting. Yeah, AMC is still crossed up on the 2-hour. AMC is crossing up on the 30-minute right now. We'll see if that can continue. We are noticing for AMC holding at 4.4%. A lot of things trying to curl up on their 30 minutes. Nvidia, yeah, we need to check over on Nvidia. Nvidia's still dropping down. Okay, Nvidia did show the major weakness, guys. So this could be a big trap here. Just be aware, Nvidia, the biggest stock out there, it's showing you a double top. It's showing you a divergence. It is showing you weakness, saying the weekly can turn down. If that weekly turns down, you need to be aware that this thing can crash, because that is a crash signal. Okay, a weekly divergence is something to pay attention to. It means we could drop all the way back down to 95 and it would make sense. We could start a new downward trend if this keeps seeing those curl downs in negative territory. If this goes negative, then that could be something bigger, right? And then we could end up in a buy zone. So we want to pay attention to that. I still think this has the opportunity to turn up maybe one more time. See a couple of weeks of ugly, get to a buy zone, turn back up for a bit, and then we'll see what happens. At least on the daily scale. I think it more makes sense on the daily scale for a lot of these. Just because of the SPY and the Qs, we don't have that. If we form the divergence here, I'm still paying attention to it. It's getting significant, right? We're forming it right now. But it's just, can we hold up? Can we see weakness up in these areas? What's up with MSTR? MSTR potentially turning down again here. So that means the downside might not be over. If that is crossing down, that means, hey, we're going to take out this low, which it is crossing down right now. We're going to go make a new one. What you're looking for is that quick little divergence, right? If that forms, then you go, oh, there's another 2-hour move higher, and this is just a pullback to the center line, right? We're going, oh, maybe we just have more pullback to happen here, and we funnel around for a few more bars, and then we see that start to base out. We see this get a little bit closer to the center line and turn back up. That's when we want to pay attention. But just a note, you do see weakness here, just slightly down. If I blow that up, you're going to see it slightly down, right? So that would mean this could be a bigger pullback, which means maybe you just want to head to the 50, something like that. So 2-hour curls up, that's great. 50 on the 2-hour, it would be like the 20 on the daily. You could head all the way down to like 343. But still just looking, seeing if this 30-minute can show me anything. If it doesn't show me anything, then that might be just starting a negative trend and this thing can really rip down. Still miles off. For AMC, you have the daily curled up. The daily is still pointing up. Okay, your daily is still, it refused to cross. That's why I said it was interesting. If you really look at this, it was trying really hard to cross here and it refused. That's why I was like, this is interesting. Watch if these things curl back up. Yeah, it never crossed. GME never crossed either. It's like, holy crap. The one I'm looking for right now is Wolf to curl up on a daily. I think that will be massive. And guess what? I made weekly expected moves for Wolf. So if you had the balls to take my research play here, I really wish I put more money behind it. I can tell you that right now. This thing is printing me some money right now, but not really good money because it was just to have skin in the game to test a theory. The theory's playing out, so that's good. And thank you so much, Short Fridays, for the $5 donation. Really appreciate it. We're going to try to do some closing streams this week, guys. Just another reminder. So turn those notifications on if you could, and like this video so more people could see it so they could join us later on in the day. Mara starting to see that negativity come in, and Wolf getting up to a key level right now, just so you are aware. AMC seeing good stuff. Q seeing good stuff. Everything's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Now we're running into that monthly expected move. We got to find out if this is going to remain at higher levels. I would like this to go like this, turn back down, turn back up. I think that would be the great look. And if we see weakness, that's when we'll really be paying attention. Yeah, Christina, it's good. I'm thinking about just like breaking even on the play right now, which I might actually do. Oh, never mind. I still make money. Nice. So this was one I sold. Yeah, that one was so good. I sold one contract and was able to make my money back and some. So now I'm just going to let the rest ride, not worry about it. And it's such a small play that it's funny because I do that on a lot, but it's a lot. Usually it's more contract selling and stuff like that. But now I'm just like, well, I'm going to sell one contract and be kind of done with it for now. Get to play that crazy stuff for free on the fun account, you know? It's good though. It's a very good move. I can even go look at my other charts. We are seeing some crazy movement early on. Which is crazy because Wolf isn't even outside of an expected move yet. Okay. Interesting. SPY is starting to see that curl up, right, on the daily. I'm kind of hoping this daily holds and we see 30-minute divergence in here. That would be great because you have this little move here now. You have that move. It's saying potential for double top right now. If that just keeps going, it could get rid of it. But if I see 30-minute weakness, that's when I'll start calling it out for sure. If I see the 2-hour rollover, that's when we'll call it out. We're holding. That's a good thing. AMC now up 6.59%. Pullback on SPY. Yeah, I mean, what I'm more thinking is we're just setting a trap for the corrective move that's coming. I think there's a corrective move that comes for a couple of weeks. There's always, like, at least since I've been trading, I feel like there's almost always been a period of time where people say like, oh no, are we going to get the Christmas rally? We're not going to get the Christmas rally. I feel like every year there's that kind of thing. IWM taking off. Yeah, you have a ton of small stocks really trying to make good moves. And that's great. It's just you have GME earnings, and I highly assume they are ready to fight the stock on an earnings. We'll see. I actually do expect volatility, but just note, this can literally remain up here like all week. You notice that as I draw this out, if we still linger around in here and we do this, that takes you into next week. So that would take you into next week. So just pay attention. This shortened trading week could be a week where they just try to squeeze, right? They do some kind of squeezing behavior. That can happen. $5 from Shane. Thank you so much for the $5. Yeah, did you have something to say, Shane? Really appreciate the donations, guys. You guys are getting my wife a better Christmas present with every donation. I can't tell you what it is because I think she can hear me sometimes. We got CGC. Yeah, CGC was interesting as well. Canopy growth. I think it was the 2-hour ride. 2-hour curled up. You get a small little rejection down here. You see that head to the upside. The daily scale is the interesting thing. If this turns up on the daily scale, CGC can see a move like this one, right? CGC could see a move maybe up towards $6 again, right? Because this was weakening in momentum. We see that very obviously, right? We see that very obviously. And then when you have these next turn down, you want to see if that holds that divergence, and it is. You can see that's very obviously holding the divergence, holding it. So barring something bad happening, this most likely does see a good move, right? Some kind of good move. Maybe it just tests, in here. Maybe right now, if it can't make it through here, that's a problem because that's a breakdown, right? That's a low. So if you keep fading below that, that's not good. But if this can just turn up on the daily, I would think gap fill does make a lot of sense. And now I just want to look at the weekly and I go, okay, where's the weekly at? Well, the weekly's at a higher level. It's really close to going positive. What happened the last time that this went positive? Well, you ended up seeing the strongest move when that was actually forced to go positive. So you ended up going from $3 all the way up to $14. So if this curls up, you can see a few weeks of positivity. It looks like that resistance is right at $13.50, right? We noticed the couldn't close above it. Got a big wick right above it. So that would be an area I'm really paying attention to is $13.50 if the daily and weekly do cross up. Not a bad look. oh, nail. I was looking at this morning, Jonathan. Yeah, thank you, Shane, for the $5. Really appreciate that. Guys, if you ever want me to look at a stock, it really is helpful. I know that I try to get to a lot. It is helpful just to throw out $2 or $3, $5 donations there. We'll probably set a standard for that eventually. For nail, the weekly scale, you see that divergence. That is really bad. That is really bad. But there is a signal for nail that is stating, hey, I potentially do have divergence. And we saw the same thing on HGX. So you do notice the 2-hour divergence down here. When did that complete? Right here on this nice upward bar, boom, to the upside. And now we're skipping above the resistance, right? If you would say anything, you would say this level in here, if we can remain above it, well, that would be good because we don't have to do this. We can always just retest or just keep going. So the 2-hour here, the big thing we want to see is daily, right? If this is able to turn up the daily, I'm more confident in the play going forward, right? If I have a month out option and I see a daily curl up, I'm like, yeah, most likely it will be higher than here. And that actually curled up 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago on Thursday. So all the signals were saying a go, go, go here. And now you're go, go, going. And you actually have daily divergence here as well. So there is a chance that this is reversing the trend around because you made a very strong base, right? So now what you're looking for is that going to fail at any time? Is this going to turn down? So looking for 2-hour divergences in a big upward move will be important. Looking for 30 minutes even could be important, but I like the look. It does say, because of the divergence down here, that this is a strong base, which means you got a chance to hit these levels. And if you do something like this, you got good structure. So I kind of like the look. We'll see. What's the cause of the huge market gap up? No idea. No idea. My cause for why things happen is always the signals, because we were doing this as last weekend. Not this just a couple days ago, but 2 weeks ago, we were like, it's fine. All we had was this. All we had was this right here, pretty much, right? We just said, wait for this to form. It formed, and then it plays out, right? We're looking for structure that can turn up a 2-hour. That's exactly what ended up happening. So that's all I really want to read into is, if I'm following the signals right, they're most of the time going to show me something. Like 99% of the time, I'm going to see something that gives me a hint. Whether I'm looking at SPY, volatility, Apple, some kind of big stock like Nvidia, right? I will most likely get a hint. So I just have to know what that hint is. I have to know how to spot that hint, and that's why we keep mentioning how the course is still on a discount, right? It's 90% off just for 6 more days. And if you didn't spot this, then this hurt you. Then this is hurting you. And so try to learn about it, because this is very good behavior. This is very good behavior to see upside. Now we're seeing the opposite. Do I want to go long up in here? Probably not. That's a monthly expected move. That means by the end of this week, we could do that. By the end of this week, we could turn down like this. This could cross, and bad signal. Now you have a 2-hour divergence, and that can roll down the daily. You have daily divergence. If the daily rolls down, you can start to roll down weeklies. If the weekly rolls down, you could be in a correction. You could be in a crash. Most likely, at this point, I think we're going to go into a correction, but I'm still going to treat this like it can be very bad. And I want to see good reversal signals for this to turn up. What would be the good reversal signal I'm looking for? Oh, this in the opposite direction, right? This in the exact opposite direction is what I'm looking for. Or just a 30-minute one, because we've seen some good curl-ups with 30-minute ones. But you see the 2-hour on this move. We saw a corrective move. You see the 2-hour. You see how there's a major divergence. Wait, well, this was the upside move, so this is where we used Nvidia. But if we go look at Nvidia, that's where our hint was, right? Our hint was with Nvidia. Nvidia showed us this very obviously in the past. We noticed this right here. What do we see? A complete difference from that on my indicators. That's what I'm going to be looking for if we're going to see another move higher, if we're going to see a Christmas rally. I'm seeing the opposite of that signal right now. We can always buy more time to the upside, but I'm seeing the opposite of it right now. Wolf still going. 11.61%. Very, very good. I am almost up 1,000%. Oh, God. But I'm letting that thing run, right? I already took my profit to to actually do more than break even because the trade was good. I will take a 950% right now. Probably should just take that. That is something I'm trying to be calm with. So I wish I had more money behind it so I could be more excited about it, but it pretty much ends up now, since it's up 900%, it's just like a regular trade to me because of the amount. Yeah, a lot of insider buying. There was a 28% increase in insider buying for Wolf Speed last week, I believe that came out. But yeah, it looks good. It's not even seeing something crazy yet, by the way. Just so you're aware, this is not seeing something crazy yet. But if that daily turns up, you're going to see something crazy. Because if that daily turns up, you're going to be in the crazy area. You're 30 cents off from seeing that crazy area. So if this can turn up, oh, it might be turning up. Like, fill this gap. 1380. Yeah, that's a pretty solid move. I'll probably sell another contract at that point, if that were to happen. I'm just going to just keep making a little bits of money all the way up. That's how I'm going to play it. Is Tesla a pullback? Well, Tesla can be, right? 2 hour just has to rotate back down. So you see how obvious this stuff is. We have a weekly expected move over on Patreon below it, okay? So we kind of know where this thing should stop. If it gets below that, we want to see reversal signals because we could be seeing something a little bit crazy. But if this 2 hour rotates back down, then we were talking about this potentially being a trap with the breakout because it's not the biggest breakout moment. But then we don't see any reversal signals from volatility. Normally we will see reversal signals from volatility. So I think the most likely thing for a lot of stocks, even Tesla, and I'm just going to do it on the SPY, but take it to heart for things like Tesla that are seeing upside moves. A 30-minute that just kind of holds above this daily, we turn back up. I want to find that weakness in momentum. Okay, I want to find the weakness in momentum. That will give me the hint. If it's not going to give me the hint, then it's most likely just going to turn down on this 2 hour or not turn down on the 2 hour, and I'll know. If it doesn't turn down on the 2 hour, then I can't say there's divergence completed. If it does, then I would say, okay, that's divergence, that's weakness. Now I'm probably going to see some downside. Cool, right? So I think a 30-minute is good to watch, right? We've seen this curl up, curl right back down, just barely get overbought. We'll see if it can continue. All right, let me look at my other charts real quick. Looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Saying anything out there that catches my attention. See. Oh man, some buying pressure for AMC, some buying pressure for GME. GME is really... Oh, okay. GME is looking pretty good. We just want to see if that can actually curl up on the 30 minutes. Same goes for AMC. SPY, starting to see weakness as we get outside of that monthly expected move. So there you go. See how our expected moves always become important. We will be updating the monthly expected moves on Sunday over on Patreon. Okay, I need to go back to this. Let's check some volumes here. Oh yeah, okay. See if we can get some days of positivity. Yeah, I do want to go over Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll look at some other ones, okay? Ryan, I see you're asking about AMD, and we can talk about that one in a second. But I wanted to pop over to Bitcoin just because this is a big sell signal, guys. The 4 hour did cross down. This is confirming divergence. This is what I posted on Patreon just to give you a warning. This is what I also posted to Twitter suggesting that the daily Bitcoin was going to get a daily pullback. Okay, a daily pullback is likely. Where could that be to? Well, you could just go down to like 90, 88K, somewhere in there. But the worst it could get, in my opinion, is you come all the way down to 73K, 72K in here. I think a retest of this area would look very, very nice. You use that as a nice little bridge to go higher. We bounce off it like a trampoline. We see that go up over time, right? And you notice that would lead us into mid-December. So it's kind of making sense. Bitcoin's turning down right now, so that means we have to be aware if the SPY is just going to curl down on a 2 hour right now. We really have to be aware of that. Let me look at my other charts real quick, by the way, just because I want to keep an eye on it. Let's go check on AMD for you real quick. AMD, great move. We run into our old trend line, right? We run into our old trend line. Watch for the 2 hour to turn down here. Just a note on AMD, it is a risky one to even try anything on. You have a monthly divergence signal that has confirmed. that means really bad things. This could be pretty bad, right? But the 2 hour rotating down, there could be an opportunity later on, right? We'll see if this is able to curl down and catch some base here. If not, well, then the daily is just going to remain down, right? We're not going to see the daily curl back up. We're going to see that daily come back down. And maybe this needs to correct even further, right? Maybe this needs to pull down even further than what it's already done, because we're seeing major reversal signals from Nvidia, and you're also seeing now the 2 hour divergence and the daily divergence on the SPY. I would really like this to hold up for one day, see another little 30-minute curl up, and then curl down, so we can really see the significance of this. I think that would really help. Then we can see if that weekly turns down, then be aware if it's going to reverse back up after a couple of weeks. It seems we are forming some kind of top here, most likely for a correction. If it's going to be more than a correction, well, we have the signals for that, so we'll look for if this thing will reverse back around. I'm leaning towards it, but it doesn't mean it has to happen, right? And we're not even 30 minutes into the day yet. Gotta keep my eye on some things here. But it's like, damn, why are all these random, potentially like stocks that are known as trash by the media, why are they all seeing these like triple divergences? Wolf CGC look like very similar, holding good divergence. Cross up on a daily, you got confirmed momentum. That'd be sick. I'm liking it. Yeah, so for AMD, it's just like, can we curl up on the daily, or are we going to curl down on the 2 hour? Because the 2 hour is still showing weakness, and now you're at the point where it's like AMD showing a bottom while Nvidia is showing a top. So you're kind of like, is that going to play into things at all? Well, if the daily would curl up, then it would suggest some positivity is coming for AMD. If it doesn't, then it would not suggest that. That's how I would read into it. Same thing goes for like Wolf and things like that, right? All right, Apple, we told you we were leaning towards that 233 test, and we're getting the 233 test now. This could be a liquidity grab at this point. This could be a liquidity grab. I'm a little worried about that because that's most likely a weekly expected move in that area. Oh, you got a little higher you could go. It's not the worst consolidation if that would break out. You still have room on the monthly. You've remained at these high levels. Like if you really zoom out on things on this, you're like, hey, I've remained up here. Let me get rid of this for now. But we're testing that area where resistance, get above it. We see that resistance. So if you're going to see a new sequence here, you got to break through these highs. You got to hold above them. You know, but you're going to run into a weekly expected move if you keep moving like this. But Nvidia's still turning down. I wonder if Nvidia's hitting a weekly. Nvidia's still turning down. We're going to look for anything here that says, hey, we can turn back up into positive territory. We need to see the 2 hour turn back up for this to get positive. The 30 minutes going to be going pretty deep now. Maybe this is going to be like cup and handle. Maybe we're going to get to here, make something like this, and then turn down again. Or that 2 hour is going to be able to turn up and we'll see an upside move. We'll find out. Microsoft actually showing some fading in there. This was Google showing the great reversal signals here. Ended up playing out to the downside, crossed down the daily chart. So Google's already done a lot of the work. If Google could make a little 2 hour divergence in here, I'd actually be happy with it. Maybe this downturn won't be too bad, but maybe we build up, see a drawdown, and then we turn right back up into positive territory. I'll be watching for that. Because Google, if it can hold up in this liquidity, if it can hold up in this block, matches with this block, I do like that area. So if we create anything down here, I'll be paying attention. That could leak all the way into late next week. All right, let me click around over here real quick. I'm gonna put you guys back over on the SPY. We're gonna watch this on a 30-minute for the time being. Just see if we can hold that daily. All right, and I want to go look at a couple of things. Mainly go look over at, what is this? What is going on with you? Netflix is one that I was like, that thing really needs to pull back eventually. On the daily scale, needs a pullback. You're kind of seeing a bad day there. See if that can keep dropping. Tesla's starting to fade this move. See if that can turn back down. Palantir making the 2-hour upward move. Just be very cautious if that reverses down. You don't have 30-minute divergence behind it, I don't believe. Let me double check. Yeah, you don't really have it. You violated the divergences. You might need to make one in the near price action for Palantir, but you might not if that 2-hour curls down. Nvidia 3% down now. It's not a good look, man. I don't think this is weakness on both. See, we see it there. You just don't see it down here. I think you'd rather have this continue and leak out for the rest of the week. Trap people completely on a Friday, because I guess we don't trade on Thursday, right? All right, let's go check on HGX because someone asked about Nail. We do notice that HGX showing more of the higher low setup here. We have the divergences in here for this good one. Now you have the slightly higher low, and we curl up into positive territory. Daily scale divergence is confirmed on Friday, and then we play out the next day. So this could be a new trend higher for the housing sector. Maybe it's just liking the yields coming down. That could just be a pullback still. We'll find out eventually. Gotta see what forms for us. Qs are probably breaking back below its daily expected move. Maybe it wants to reconnect with the 5. See if that 30-minute can turn down. Nothing's turned down on a 30-minute yet, so we shouldn't expect real weakness. We should probably expect consolidation. Bitcoin still dropping now 2.4%. See if that daily, the daily's very close to crossing now for Bitcoin. If it can catch ground here, it could buy itself some time. Yeah, if it could catch it here and see the 2-hour bounce up, it can play a little bit more time. Because if it shows more weakness, gets down to like 94K, you're crossing that MACD. You're officially like, hey, yeah, the daily's gonna pull back. Nice. They're just not letting Oxy break out. Give it time, right? That's why you manage risk in it. If that 30 minutes turning down, I could even manage for just a little bit. If that 2-hour rotates down, I really want to be cautious, right? So if that rotates down, I still want to be cautious, but I need to realize this is very positive. So what could be happening here is, yeah, maybe this was, violating cup and handle, but if we need to consolidate to break through a very obvious, you can just tell it's very obvious rejections in here. So resistance, right? Resistance, we break below, we gap below it. So you might be dipping down for a brief moment, see if these 30 minutes and these 2 hours can turn back up. It's going to be more of a timing thing now because the signals are so good with Oxy that the only one that would really worry me is if the daily curled down. That's the only one that would really worry me. It's just taking its time right now. Nvidia puts printed so hard. Yeah, they have the daily divergence. And the Nvidia very good here because 2 hour, yeah, we were paying attention to the fact that, ooh, is that a liquidity grab? And then this is going to turn down. Well, the daily confirmed, right? So the daily actually confirmed a few days back, right, on this red bar. Then you saw the reaction up, 2 hour curled back down, printing pretty good, going down towards weekly expected moves and stuff like that. I don't think it's at one yet. But now you just want to watch. If this weakness stays for the rest of the week, you got to watch out because this weekly might just cross. Look at this. Look how close that is. For Nvidia, if it were to see a, I would say, minor correction, I'm really liking this 127 to 125. I think we gravitate to 125 a lot. If we're going to see this be more, right, if this is some kind of actual bad move, then 95.63 was the good level to us in the past, right? Great breakout, great resistance, great support. So this will be for the minor thing. This will be for a more major thing. Then we'll find out. MSTR could be interesting. Well, oops. MSTR could be like some kind of 30-minute here. We still have the opportunity. We're still close to that center line, right? We're still close. You have a slightly higher low, no real significance for the R sign MACD on these, no real difference. If we saw this like way up here, that would be a difference. If we saw this like not even crossing and rejecting, that would be a difference. So I just want to see if that 30-minute turns up like this. Well, the main thing I could just look for is if the 2 hours ever going to curl up, right? I could maybe look at an hourly because that's really close to the center line, right? Really close to the center line. So if that can turn up, hey, we have another good move. Look at this, hourly turn up right here. Right? And you went from 353 all the way to 536. So if an hourly turns up here, we can go from 430 to all the way up towards 550 or something like that, maybe to test these levels. If I just see if this hourly can turn up, the 30-minute curling up would be maybe my, hey, I'm in early, manage the trade if the 30-minute rolls back down. But judging by the market, it looks like things want to keep heading up for a little bit. But is this like everything wants to squeeze higher, so a lot of money's coming in, a lot of money's being pumped in, and this is what's causing these meme stocks and other stocks to do it, and then the short sellers are going to get wrecked because of just like people wanting to buy, people being bullish? Now I understand this much better. Awesome, Kapil. Yes, Kapil. Awesome. Okay, so you're saying that's a good point. If you are like listening to the stream every day and things ever confuse you in what I'm saying, the course can really help with just like how I talk. I know everyone probably talks about stocks a little bit differently, probably uses different lingo, but taking the course kind of helps you know like what I'm looking for and why I'm looking for it there. Like you probably understand very greatly why I'm looking for a certain thing up in this area. Right, the percentages are going to be with me for this thing to drop down, and this is a great time to be like, it's not always a, hey, I'm looking for a short all the time. It's no, I'm looking for a reason to sell, right? Reason to sell. A reason to sell would be, well, what got me into this move, right? So a reason to sell here would be like, okay, well, if I'm short, this is a reason to sell. Why? Because it's a reversal signal. Do I have to play the upside? No, but I would say upside's easier to play, so play the upside. Then we see what? Oh, we see a reason to sell right here because you made a higher low or a lower high, and then you actually curled down really close to the center line. That's a reason to sell my calls. Awesome. If I want, I can take puts. And then I can say, oh, we're in a buy zone. Am I seeing 2 hour divergence yet? No. So I should expect this to bounce most likely. Let me take profit, right? It's a great thing to do back and forth. It keeps you trading like water. It's nice. Good morning, Alex. How you doing? You think Burlington fails on earnings? Probably. Probably. Oh God, come on, come on, come on. Get up, get me up 1,000%, Wolf. I just want to be able to say I had 1,000% trade. Might just keep it though. That daily hasn't even rotated up yet. IWM, these things, I need to shift these back up, but we are hitting my target, which is kind of crazy. You're seeing 2 hours start to get up there. If that falls down, not going to be a good sign. DIA, same thing, 2 hours up there. Now this is rather flat now. Okay, so this could be a whole new series. We'll see. Most likely we're going to correct like after this week. Happy Monday, Lurk and Luke. How's it going? Tammy, good morning. GME starting to run. Let's see if it actually is. Hey, 2.4, 2.3. Crossing up on the 30-minute. That's what we got to see. Damn, that rhymed. The 30-minute crossed up for AMC. So now AMC, you have a 30-minute, a 2-hour, and a daily all positive. That's what you're looking for. If it changes, you got to change, right? GameStop, you have the 30-minute. Oh, you don't have the 2-hour. You still have the daily. But the daily, you easily could see how that could be a pullback. We do see pullback signals showing up in the 2-hour for the daily scale. So I'm not going to be surprised at all if GameStop turns down from here and sees a massive daily pullback. I'm not going to be surprised. But if this 2-hour turns back up, it's kind of a different story for the time being till I see that curl back down, till I see that weakness. But right now it's showing weakness. We're trying to get rid of that weakness. That's the big thing. The 30-minute is curled up. It's impossible for the 2-hour to go down if the 30-minute keeps going up, right? It's just impossible. Is Wolf a good buy now? It just depends on your thinking. This is a stock that is fought against. You do have daily divergence that potentially could confirm soon. I would just tell you that you are approaching a weekly expected move. We have GME earnings. This is a very skeptical thing, right? A lot of these stocks are very skeptical things, but they are showing good signals that haven't even confirmed yet, which means you could have more time, right? But it also could mean, hey, if that daily curls up and we're in a crazy area, we could see something crazy. That's why I took it at the good signals at the bottom here, took a rejection signal, found a 30-minute divergence in here to tell me, hey, that 2-hour can rotate back up. That plus the research that I'm doing with the short sale volume told me, hey, this thing has a good likelihood to bounce. How good did I think that bounce would be? Well, I saw there was potential for a daily divergence. That's why I was looking at it. So yeah, that's the video I need to still put out on. Dang it, I need to work on the course because I do want to add that video to the course. How to look for opportunities, when to look for the real big opportunities, because that's all this was. This was seeing a daily signal. Okay, awesome, I see it. It looks good. Does it have potential to cross up? Ooh, the 2-hour looks like some rejection divergence. Let me dig in. Okay, ooh, the third, you know what I mean? You go through the steps. We're probably going to put that out there because that's going to be really helpful. And if you already bought the course, you don't have to pay extra for it. That's the good part. Buy at support. Yeah, and a lot of the time you want to see, I would say more so, I'm a person that I want to look at, are we creating some weakness in momentum to whichever direction we're going at support or resistance, right? That's all you're doing, right? This didn't necessarily have a support level to look at down here. But SPY, what are you looking for here? It's like, well, we know that that's a daily expected move. We know that resistance can come in there. There's a 30-minute signal there. It's not really on the RSI at the same time, so we still could see the move higher. But if the 2-hour rotates down, that would be weakness in momentum giving you that signal. Now, it will be different if the 2-hour just flashes down and turns back up. We see 2-hour divergence. We'll have to react really quickly, right? If all that happens. Right now it looks like, hey, we're building a trap. I think we're building a trap at this point. I think it could leak out for a few more days, or the 2-hour just rolls over and we see things get a little bit ugly. I think we're going to buy ourselves some time throughout the week. That's just my take. I just would be interested to see what happens. I think a lot of this is like adding up to GME earnings. Isn't it funny that it's all coming to the pivotal moment of GME earnings? Like GME has earnings and we're like, oh God, this is going to be a crazy freaking week. Wolf bull flag on the 5-minute. Yeah, we like to see it. Check if there's divergence outside of the weekly expected move for me on a 5-minute, my dude. See if it's close to the center line. That might convince me to sell one more contract. Because we're due for like a little 30-minute pullback, but you're holding that level really well. The divergence is not close to the center line. You kind of got rid of it. You can make a new one. And then you might be curling up the daily and you might say, hey, awesome. So Yeah, I was diligent with it. Sold enough to pretty much double what I put into it, and then now I'm just letting the rest ride. Fun stuff. SMCI with a 15% move. What does this look like? SMCI. Let's look at this and see if I can come up with anything. SMCI still going up for this? Still going up for SMCI, so no peak in the short sales, so this can continue actually for SMCI. That's kind of wild. You haven't seen it peak yet for the short sale volume. I believe the same thing could be said about Wolf. And AMC and GME are at lows. Man, what are they doing out there? I am interested to see the short sale volume tomorrow, that's for sure. All right, SPY still able to hold it at this moment. I would love for this to go up to the weekly. I just wanted to make a very simple signal on the 30-minute. It will help us out so much. We'll put it everywhere, and I would really be paying attention, right? Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. I apologize. Sava down 85%, damn. 38.5 expected for SMCI. Where's it at now? 38.31. So you got to be breaking through that. Daily looks good. Weekly close, so I wouldn't, you know, oh, it's right at a resistance level too. Very obvious breakdown area. Dang. So I think you're hoping that if this does hold as resistance, it's just a 30-minute pullback, but you have some weakness in momentum on your MACD, but just not the best. Yeah, we can. I mean, a lot of the time I just say, like, trade something you seriously know that is proven to be a good stock, right? That's why I pay attention to the ones here that I pay attention to. These have been good stocks for a while, right? Apple is my most traded stock. Why? Because it's been around for a while. I understand the products, right? I can see, if I just pull out a monthly and I see 2 crossings up, I go, okay, that's one I can look at. And then if I see, oh, that thing is just dramatically down over the last 3 years, like, I can go, maybe I need to trade something else. Yeah, but maybe I could look for that for an investment. But we could see if we can go over some of that stuff. That's kind of what the video would do, by the way. Like, the potential for reversals is what the video I want to make is. And I was supposed to make that last week. I got to write a note here. Let me write a note. Keep fucking forgetting all the time, especially when I'm getting sick. Yeah, I made an update video for Patreon yesterday, and I was editing, and I was just like, every 30 seconds there's and I was just like, yeah, I can't. That would annoy the crap out of you guys. So I don't think it was like the most important, but this was one of the things we were going to talk about. The flash move from the 2 hour, does it just reverse back down, or do we build and make that 30-minute like a very easygoing good divergence here that's very obvious? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, man, if Wolf gets through 982, that'll be crazy. That'll be a daily cross up, and you're in an unexpected area. You could see some interesting things from that. Why are these things going to pop off? I don't know. I just know momentum looks pretty good. Good there. GME got to hold it for 10 more minutes. And then you got to turn up a 2 hour. DJT just falling down. The DJT not looking the best. See if the 2 hour rotated down. If the 2 hour rotates down, that would not be a good sign. We'll watch out for a higher low. Or we're right by that center line actually, so we could take out these levels, start a new series here. See if that makes a quick little divergence right here. Great move from DJT last time we called it out, but now it's kind of still consolidating. Hasn't curled over on the 2 hour just yet. Palantir with a great move. Nvidia still dropping, now down by a weekly expected move. Yeah, it is getting really close to the weekly here for Nvidia. Let me double check that that's the right level. Yep, that is. I made sure to update them like I normally do on my other charts. Got to see the weekly, man. You see it. It's right there. It's going, man, if I cross, and it's going to maybe, if that crosses and remains down there by the end of the week, you would see a not good things most likely, because you have a weekly divergence confirmation outside of a weekly expected move. That's going to be a little worrisome. And then we'll get those updated monthly expected moves for you, so you can have those for Nvidia. We are not by one right now. This is where support can come in. More towards our 135 level is what I'd pay attention to. Some good support in there. Mara actually still going positive here. Very good. Mara, you're noticing 30-minute divergence, so watch out. 2 hour divergence is there as well. That is trying to curl back up. Daily's still looking okay, but we're making a bunch of divergence here for Mara. Let me go look at my other theory thing here for Mara. Mara's actually hit a peak. So this means Mara actually can see the weakness. Let me see here. So Mara can experience weakness if they have won the battle, that is, right? If they're losing the battle, they might come down on that. Look at my other charts. That was, when was that? Friday? Yeah. Happens there. And oh, Wolfie's seeing that breakout. Sorry, I said Wolfie. We call my daughter's toy Wolfie. We're seeing that little consolidation lead to a little bit more upside. We'll see if 982 or $10 comes to be important. Looks like $10 is the important level for Wolf to really break through, just that flat number. Is there going to be some move down in the market that causes all these other things to come down? That's something that can happen. All right, that is officially 1,000% for that trade. That is wild. Let me look at the daily. The daily's so close to crossing. You keep this positivity for all day, that is potentially going to be a massive move now for Wolf. You would be in a crazy area, or the options market's going to fight the stock, right? That's what the options market does in that area. 30-minute looks good. I think TLT's making a move outside of a weekly. Yeah, massive move. Gapped above the weekly expected move. That's a good thing for TLT. If it can hold that, that is a great thing for TLT. Why are we going to see these yields just drop dramatically? People are really pricing in an absolute collapse of these yields with that move from TLT right now. Like 2% is not something to joke around about when it comes to bonds. Tim, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. IWM to a new all-time high. Yeah, it hit my point, 242.97. So we're aware that the 2-hour signal is starting to get up there to where this thing might be violated. Now, is IWM heading towards a weekly expected move? We can update those levels for you just so you can see. The indices, if you just ask nicely on the live stream, we'll usually give it to you. If you just want it right away, it's over on Patreon for DIA and IWM. So you're noticing a big upward move. That's great. That means that this is strength, by the way. And if you're going to see weakness in the strength, you're going to see most likely weakness in momentum. We do not see that right now. We do not see that. We could pull back, fill a gap, or reconnect with the 5 and end up turning up, and that's what I'm looking for. You notice that would lead into Friday, so maybe positivity continues. We'll see what happens with GME earnings. Apple right away running into resistance at 233. That's what we like to see. Nvidia hating life. Now up 15% for that. Tesla curling back down on the 30-minute, holding the divergence point. That's very important here, guys. So this 2-hour is rotating back down. Tesla is showing some major weakness right now. We'll see if it can buy itself more time, but that is showing weakness now. Amazon with the great move up. You notice that it's getting rejected. This is why caution on these ones that actually have reversal signals. I do like this, but it's if it can cross up on the 2-hour and take back the 5-day that I actually see that swing. Not a good look. AMD showing that positivity. We'll see if that can turn back down. Meta getting a little rejection here. Nice little higher low, though, so very interesting for Meta. Looks okay. We'll see if that gives it up. Microsoft going up, completely going, yeah, we're going to break to the upside, and then it goes, well, maybe not, right? Maybe not. So see if that 30-minute curls back down. That would mean some bad things. Wolf just going nutty right now. Mara is, out of all these other ones though, Mara is the only one that looks like it's setting up a lot of reversal signals. Just to be aware of it. Mara, this is a great move. We found that little 2-hour or 30-minute divergence in here. That helped us. Now we're seeing the same signal in the opposite direction. So this might be a time to pay attention. This still can see craziness, right? It still can. The daily's turned up. That's fine. It's just I'm seeing 30-minute. I'm seeing potential weakness in the 2-hour coming up across. And I'm seeing a daily that's just going up into the sky, and you have that divergence on the RSI. So Mara's the one that is showing weakness, and this does add up to how I'm looking into short sale volume. I'm looking into short sale volume. Once I do get a conclusion from that over the next month or two, I'll share it with you guys on the course. But for right now, you just need to know that the thing that I'm testing would suggest this could come down, or the short sellers lost, and this could just skyrocket. That's the two options with what I just saw from the short sale volume. Was maybe we experience 1 or 2 more days of positivity, and most of the time when this happens in the short sale volume, we see Mara actually come down. It doesn't have to be that aggressive. We could just be dipping down into a buy zone, right? We could be dipping down to $23, $22. I always want to see if that 2-hour can whip back up, but that would have divergence suggesting it can go negative, which means, ooh, what if we actually start to break down over time, right? So we have this way, and we have the potential for this to form this way because of the divergences we're seeing. You have 30-minute, you have 2-hour, you have a daily on the RSI, so there is extreme weakness for Mara. We'll see if it can get rid of those signals. Wolf finally going up to the weekly. Nice. We'll see what happens with that. SPY, still the most important thing to watch right now, I believe, is the indices, is the SPY. How are you guys doing today? AMC is up. It is. It is up 5.27%. It is curled up on the 2-hour. It is curled up on the 30-minute, and it is curled up in positive territory. Wait, let me not misspeak here. On the daily, right? Yeah, it rejected. That's right, it rejected. Where is it? It rejected the turn down. That's why I was really paying attention to it. See how it refused to turn down. The only one that's not running at all is DJT, which is very interesting. So, interesting stuff. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. See what happens. Tomorrow's daily expected moves probably be the most important. Let me go click over here real quick. Just to look at this. Wolf actually is trying to break through. If it gets past $10, it's looking pretty damn bullish. If it can hold past $10 today, that would be a big bullish sign. This is where things get interesting. It's like, well, if Wolf's about to see something crazy, then wouldn't Mara continue to see something crazy if they both have the same problem? But they feel, at least the short sale volume is kind of stating, hey, yeah, we've kind of solved the problem there, or they've lost the battle. They're really focusing on SMCI. I know it's crazy, but the short sale volume on SMCI is just, it's kind of insane. Oh, freaking A. Yeah, and it's still pointing up, so that's not even peaking just yet. It tried to peak, it didn't work out, which could happen with Mara. Damn, that is a crazy upward move. All right, guys, I'm going to use the restroom, and I will be right back, and I will get back into the chat, all right? Be right back. 1 second. All right, we're back. What's going on? What's going on in here? To hit 576 for the SPY, you're going to need this 2 hour to turn back down. If that 2 hour turned down, I'd feel better. Right now, you have the potential for that to take some time. You have a divergence on the 30-minute. You're starting to get through that daily expected move back into it. So interesting. We'll still see. We don't have the 30-minute weakness up here to really suggest that this is really going to turn down right now. It could mean, hey, are we just going to experience something bad? The TLT is really reacting. So if we just see, black swan or something, you're just going to see the 2 hour turn down. We're going to see a weekly turn down. We're going to see something ugly for a bit, maybe a corrective move. Still going to say correction until we don't see those reversal signals. If we do see the reversals, then we're going to be like, okay, this was overall a corrective move. And now 576. That would make some sense. 576 actually would make some sense to hit for that corrective move. 400%. Congratulations, Chris. That's what we like to see. And you're out, you know? And the best part is, you know, the best part is you're like, yeah, that makes total sense. Why do more than what the options market's pricing in? You're like, it's super safe. It's awesome. It's something I'm looking into with Wolfie over there. Just I want to see how this thing plays out throughout the day. But it's like right as we hit that move for Wolf, we see that resistance come in. And I don't have one for Mara, but I just do not like the look of Mara right now. I think that it is curled back up in positive territory. That's good. It's still curled up on the 30-minute, but if you just look at these, you're like, these are great moves. IWM's hitting the range, Mara's hitting the range. We could start to turn down from here, right? But it's just, can this do this? If that happens, that would be great. If it's not going to happen, maybe something sells off the entire market. We do see a huge reaction. I just don't see the peaking from Wolf just yet, like I do in Mara. Right? I see some peaking in Mara. This guy hasn't even gotten any love. AMC and GME still relatively strong. We'll see if that can turn up. We're looking at some wild stocks today, though. So if there's any regular, you know, stocks that we normally pay attention to, if you want to look at those, just let me know, because I'm just paying attention to some stuff I have money in. I want to make sure these signals still look good. Let's see what people are saying. About some of these stocks. Let's look at this, and then I'll get back to the chat. Big things happening with Wolf. What the heck? A lot of insider buying. All right, let's get back to you guys real quick. Wouldn't Bitcoin the farm in Bitcoin? See what I'm doing there? Yeah, Bitcoin's rough. Bitcoin's gonna be rough because now you have the potential for this daily to pull back. Now you're saving yourself for now. You can always buy yourself more time. Turn up the 2 hour, right? You see a little divergence there. Okay, awesome. 21 minutes, you see that thing turn back around. You have another 4 hour move higher, right? Potential for the 4 hour to turn back up. And then guess what? If that happens, you get this 4 hour to turn up, you got yourself a $102,000 trap. If this would do this, it'll get a lot of people bullish, and then if you just see that rotate down, right? We got to see it rotate down. I'm not really bearish on Bitcoin. I think it could still move upward, just go parabolic because of what we're seeing with the Trump campaign, really giving a lot to the Bitcoin side of the game, giving a lot to the crypto side of things. So this could just keep going, but if it shows me a reversal signal, I'm going to treat it very cautiously above 100K. I would like it more to correct before and then see that 100K move later on. Then you could build up towards 128, 129K. It calls up 340% from Friday. IWM always has a 5-day bull run. I expect to see a pullback tomorrow. Nice, Robert. Well, very good play. Congratulations to everyone getting those IWM plays. And you're doing it. You're taking profit. And I think that is diligent. I think that is good decision making, in my opinion. because we're running our head right into a weekly expected move on the first day of the week. Now, this can continue. You don't have 30-minute reversal signals, right? We still need to make something like this to fall down. So what if this does the same thing, and then you see that? Well, that's going to be where weakness can come in for IWM. Now, we do have some small stocks seeing some crazy things. We'll see if that can continue. GME, 30 minutes, starting to look pretty good now, right? Crossed up. Very good. Now you need the 2 hour. All right. So you're almost there though. Really. You're not far off. And this is why we're going to go live a lot this week too. It's just because things look interesting and it's a shortened trading week. So make sure to turn on notifications, guys. Please like this video if you're here and you haven't liked the video. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 10K by Christmas. Let's do it. That pre-100K pullback. That's what I'm saying, Jackal. That looks likely, but you're seeing these things move, and Bitcoin can move with that. Now, you're wondering with Bitcoin, are they using it to try to fight other stocks? Are they just pump and dumping Bitcoin to fight other stocks? Or is this running because it wants to run with those stocks? It's kind of like it could be either one. For Wolf, real quick, we're just monitoring if that daily can curl up today. You are officially in the crazy area for the week. Mara, you are still seeing upside for Mara. So the 30-minute was able to rotate back up, and it has not rotated back down. Let's see here, because I almost did. Cool. MDT, what is MDT? I don't know if I've checked MDT. Electronic, not good to curl down on the 30-minute here. Originally, you see, and this is the problem, you don't have great reversal signals down here, you have a reversal signal. You have just the RSI. Excuse my coughing. You have just the RSI. So that means this all could be a bounce. Right, and it's looking like, hey, what? It's retesting the 5. We're crossing down. You're still positive, so the more likely thing here is to go make a lower or higher low. Sorry, is to make a higher low. So if this could curl down and curl right back up, that's when the opportunity is there again. Right now, it's curled down, so we should expect negativity. The 2 hour you can see is curled up, but we don't have those good reversal signals. So if we're going to do more than just make a 30-minute higher low, we're going to see this 2 hour cross, that's where you can make that little divergence down there. And that is more convincing to me than what we have right now. So I think it has time to consolidate. I think it is buying time to see which way this thing wants to go. 30-minute little pullback is what I'm looking for there to create a higher low, or the 2 hour creates some kind of divergence. That's what I'm really looking for this thing to reverse back around. And we can look at the daily and just see that that is negative. So should we expect this to fight the high and go make a new high? Well, we should probably pay attention to breakdown areas first. This gap fill is a great area, 8750-ish is very, very good. You have this block in here. You really look at this block, you're going, oh, okay, that's my resistance zone. And you notice that gap's in it. So that's what I'd be paying attention to for MDT. If you want me to make the zone for you real quick, I can do that. We teach you how to do this a little bit in the course, by the way, just how to find those areas. And you want to see if you can come up with multiple reasons why this area would be important. All right, so right away we see, oh, we break above it, we retest in it to then go higher, we retest in it, we try to go higher, we retest in it, we do go higher, we come down into it, we try to bounce off, we break through it, retest in it, break down. So this area is important, right? If I can talk for that long about an area, then it's probably pretty important. And you notice we're seeing that resistance come in as we approach it, right? And actually it's down a tiny bit more now that I look at this wick. Right there, I think that's better. And yeah, we pretty much come and test it. Let me make sure that's on that wick because I don't want to be like cheating here. Right there, so we were just short of it. Just looks like when I zoom out, it looks like it's coming out of it, doesn't it? I hate when that happens. I'm like, come on. Sure, we'll leave it. We'll leave it and just say, yeah, that tagged the plays. It headed up towards it, and it's seeing resistance. So now you pay attention if the 30-minute, 2 hours rotate back down, and then you just play it like that. You just got to see, can this 30-minute turn back up? Can it get through the buy zone, or the sell zone, sorry, the resistance zone? If that can go bam, then retest in it and go higher. Well, it's done that in the past, right? It's very obviously done that in the past. Bam, break into it, go, right? Come out, go in, go out, go in, go up. That's good behavior. It is good. We'll just see what happens with it going forward. All right, Wolf officially going towards the $10 mark. Any chance your opinion on ticker AI? Yeah, let's go check AI for you real quick, Matthew. AI, first of all, you have a ton of 30-minute divergence. You're really squeezing on this bad boy. You're getting really tight, okay? So if I'm not ultra bullish and willing to hold this as an investment for a long time at this point, would I be taking profit? I personally would. You are seeing something crazy, so that means if you ever want to leave contracts to continue to see the craziness, that's fine. It just means I'm going to sell, just like with Wolf, right? I'm selling as this thing goes up and up and up. I already broke even and made some money off the play. Next, I'm going to look for, if we fill the gap, I'll probably sell a few more contracts. So the same thing could be said with something like this that's seeing a wild, rapid upward move. Look at the bigger time frames. Can we hold on this to for a while? Well, the weekly turned up. That's great. The daily looks like it needs a pullback at some point, and you're hitting those levels on the RSI where you start to see things come down. But notice the moves that we've seen when we've hit those highs have been massive, so this could continue. You're going up into a potential resistance area. We'll see what happens. Are we seeing some reversal signals on the 2-hour? No. So if that 2-hour rotates back down and turns up, we could see positivity. So the only thing I'm looking for, do we have signals that say a 2-hour pullback could come? The 30-minute is saying that, right? But the 30-minute keeps violating that every time it happens. Okay, so you have multiple point divergence for sure, right? We have multiple point from these levels for sure, but it hasn't turned down yet. So if it just keeps going, keeps violating divergence, it's just going to keep going, right? I think a 2-hour pullback is likely if we can confirm back down and go negative for a bit. GME now at 29. Very, very good. See if the 2-hour can rotate up. And what's the SPY doing with this? Still holding at higher levels, just like I want it to. I want it to do this. I want it to do this. I want it to hold. I want it to hold. I want it to hold. That maybe not even cross. End up going up tomorrow. Then we see it pull down. Then we see it go back up. Then we see it come back down. That would be fantastic if it all plays out that nicely. This VIX level, IWM tend to keep running, or not really, as VIX can spike up overnight. VIX can spike up at any time now. You're not seeing reversal signals from volatility, but you're noticing this slight divergence on the MACD, suggesting a pullback can come in the market, aka a bounce could happen, and then watch out for resistance off of the 5, right? This might just be that 30-minute pullback to create some divergence. If we see a 30-minute divergence on the VIX, and we see a 30-minute divergence on the SPY at the same time, and then we're also making that 4-hour higher low we were talking about at that point, that starts to add up to this might be a massive trap. Now, the way you know if this is going to continue is if you just violate that and you keep turning down, and then you end up towards 1212, right? If we start to cut this low, 1212 is very likely. 1212 is where you see a lot of reactions in volatility. Or at least you start to form the divergences down there, and then you see a big reaction. Apple, nice, went to 233. Pretty expected. Hey, keep going, keep going. What the heck? Is this thing still moving? Dang. Hey, keep going, Wolf. Break through $10. Break through, baby. Wow. IWM just going. So IWM getting rid of the 30-minute divergence and violating all of it now. Mara. So Mara can just keep going if it wants. Now you're looking for if that 2-hour turns down at any time, but Mara looks great here. It's violating the divergence, so you can't talk badly about it again until you see those signals pop up or you see something randomly bad happen. Wolf hit a high of 1003 and saw some resistance off of that level. Very nice, very nice. SPY still holding. Yeah, you can really see Wolf, that $10 mark, really what it wants to get through. Let's look at halts. Wonder if any of these have been halted today. There's been some pretty big moves. Let's see if there's halts out there. This one was halted. Oh, Quantum Corp was halted a few times. Damn, turn up on the daily for Quantum Corp. Holy crap, what else is being halted? Sava was halted. Someone said that had a bad reaction. Holy, that is bad, man. What the heck happened with these guys? Oh, the Alzheimer trial failed. Wow. Damn, that is not cool. That is not cool. That's a big drop. So as you can see down here, its Alzheimer's drug failed. Wow. That's really bad. 85%. %. That is so wow. Wolf just broke above $10. That's what we want to see. It needs to hold $10. If it can hold $10, and you see it's starting to fluctuate now pretty aggressively. It's like 1% up, 1% down every 3 seconds for a second there, for a little bit there. This is where the battle really begins, I think, is above $10 for Wolf. Yeah, I like it. I'll take 1,300%. Like, I'm still just gonna hold it because it's on my fun account, but they halted you. Yeah, RIP Sava, poor guy. IWM is insane, and yeah, that's why it's like it's a lot of the time. If you're seeing craziness across the board, it's like we could hold on to some contracts to just see. Right now, I have no risk whatsoever in Wolf, so I'm just seeing what happens with it. Jimmy and Amy. This is the daily's able to confirm back up. You're just seeing, is that going to fade at some point? Are we going to create reversal signals? The 2 hours starting to get up there, and if that fades from right there, that wouldn't be a good sign. But everything is pointing to positivity. There's nothing bad about this right now, except for like weekly expected move, but we're not seeing reversal signals complete by those, so that's where, you know, the course can keep you a little level-headed too, right? Oh, I'm hitting a weekly, I could take some profit, but also I'm not seeing reversal signals yet, so maybe I take some profit, see if this thing runs a little more, look for a reversal signal, and then be like, all right, I'm out. All right, so far, Wolf holding that. Man, I wish I had like $1,000 of Wolf right now. That'd be sick. But nope, I wasn't willing to put that much skin in the game on a theory of mine. I'm glad I put some in the game though. That's ended up being a return, like a real trade, so that's good. Oh, let's see what people are chatting about, and then I will look back at the chat in just 2 seconds. All right, let's go look at you guys. No, man, Chris, be happy with it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be happy with those. You can't turn those into a negative. You know what I mean? Be happy about it for a sec. You know, give yourself that 10 minutes of yes, and then after 10 minutes, be like, all right, I'm just looking for the next trade. Let's make another good one, right? What is the volume on this bad boy? It's not even as much volume as yesterday or Friday, so this thing could just be getting started. Man, you're still not crossed up on that MACD. I thought past $10 for sure that would happen. It's not even the most volume though. Most likely there's a lot of volume not hitting the tape here. That's what it seems like. Solid move, though. Yeah, Chris, you know what I mean? I've done that to myself before, right? I did it with volatility recently. Remember volatility? Remember that volatility play I had? Where we saw this? I think it was this first spike. And I sold my volatility right here. And then I didn't buy back in on that 30-minute or hour swing. And then this 400% gain could have been 4,000% like 2 days later. Yeah, I could bum myself out about that forever. Or I could say, thank you for the very, very good trade. The 400%, I will take that. 4,000 would have been, we would have been on that trade because I had money in it. 4,000% would have been like, yeah, I can do YouTube full time now for sure. I would pretty much get really close to my goal. So I was like kind of bummed. 80K in GME. Holy fam. Hey, I mean, it's good. 2 hour curls up, it's better. AMC's got all of it. Seeing some resistance, but got all of it. GME still lagging behind just a little bit. Need to see that 2 hour turn up. But GME has looked way stronger, right? We can agree on that. Wolf kind of giving it up above $10 as of right now. God, part of me is like, just take it, man. It's at a weekly expected move. I might take one more contract off. Yeah, I might take one more contract off at the weekly. Cool. Alrighty. There we go. See, take some profit on the way up. Yeah, Sid's gonna be like, Sid's gonna be richer than all of us. 80K in GME. That is a position, my friend. That is an investment. And the good part about that investment is the monthly is still turned up. It's turned up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, which just means you might have 18 months left of positivity. Let's look at this. Let's see. Where did this thing hold up at? Oh, it's reaching golden pocket now, but it was really this 78 fib. Interesting. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Still looking pretty good. I mean, starting to say like, hey, I might turn down on the 30-minute. So Mara's the one I was worried about, and this thing's still just making another upward move. Let's see, what was this? Boom, boom. It's probably got a bigger implied volatility than that. And then SMCI. This one they're fighting the crap out of. You still gonna have some upside, but my God, they are fighting the crap out of this one. They do not want it to go up. DJT even flashing back. DJT even flashing back for a moment here. Like, is all this stuff just gonna rip? What the heck is going on? We'll see if that can turn back up. Trying to look at some data there for it. Looks like this could be turning back down. That will be divergence on the MACD, not on the RSI at the same time. Could be in a 2 hour pullback's coming. We'll see. Oh, they are caught off guard. Yeah, whenever you're doing this, whenever you have stocks like this going up to here, yes. If you have IWM doing this, yeah, that's a good sign that they are caught off guard right now. right? TLT doing this, which I need to update those levels for you, but, or actually not on these, that's on Patreon, but TLT doing this, already doing something unexpected. DIA starting to head in that upward direction. I need to fix these, but it's up there. So yeah, you're pretty much doing crazy things all right. Now from the monthly perspective, it's not that crazy, right? From the monthly perspective, this is just the level you want to get to, then you turn back down, then you turn back up, then we see if weakness forms. That would be nice. That would be a nice look, actually, because it would really convince people like, hey, this is something great. And then if it could be great, right, we just want to pay attention if the signal gets bad. That's when we watch. We're outside of a monthly, so we'll watch it. Looks like Wolf seeing some resistance come in for a brief moment here. See if that continues. The short time frames are saying some kind of little consolidation for Wolf would be likely here. We'll just see if it can hold above the crazy level. That's the important part. Hold above it. Let's see what people are chatting about now. Nothing really. Some people talking about XRP. Whoa, Netflix took a dump. Netflix took a kind of a nosedive here. I did like the 30-minute signal at the top. And then we notice that that is producing some downside. So we do see the 2-hour curling down here with divergence on the RSI. So this could be a more meaningful 2-hour pullback. We'll find out. I don't have a weekly, but I do like this 840, which is another 30 points down. That's a lot. But 840 looks like a good level. Apple's still kind of holding a divergence point, actually. Tesla, pretty controlled. One sporadic move up, but pretty controlled. Amazon staying at higher levels. Nvidia really looks like it wants to try to base out here. Oh, that move from gold. Yeah, the move from GLD took the options market way off guard. Let's see what happens here for Wolf. You do have a slight pullback signal, but nothing that states this has to pull down quickly. We'll see what happens. Mara got rid of like all of the signals there on that big move up. Very, very good for Mara. Still going. Wow. That's a bad move by Netflix though, isn't it? The 30-minute for the SPY starting to come back into the range. Is it relatively controlled? Well, we can look at a 5-minute and just see, hey, is this thing really moving down fast? It's coming off pretty good. 5 minutes still very positive. You notice when we start to see that start to turn down and close below here, well, we usually see a bunch of divergence. So I expect we're going to see these 5-minute moves still go to the upside. Then we'll see what happens. Yeah. Just want to pay attention if that 30-minute crosses down. Qs especially, they probably don't want the 30-minute to curl down. Tesla trying to turn back up here after getting the retest. That's good. What are you guys chatting about? Put in your shorts on Netflix this morning and trade like water. Very, very good. That's all you're doing now. You're trading like water. You're going, wow, what a good signal. That can reverse down my 2 hour. Do I see any reason for the 2 hour to stop dropping? Not necessarily. Could I experience a daily pullback soon? You could. So if we're going to get that 2 hour to base out, I'd really be looking at that 840. If we just get down there quickly and turn right back up, I would really like that. By calculating the risk ranges. So it pretty much tells you the weekly expected moves is how we're looking into this. And so if you're making a move that is bigger or going lower or higher than what is expected, the calculation of the market, pretty much it's using all of the money that people actually placed bets in the market, and it's telling you where they are guessing or where they are pricing it in, not necessarily guessing because they're using their money. So it's pricing it in, which means the market maker can be affected by those levels, right? It's kind of like a call wall and a put wall, right? If there's a bunch of calls at one level, that's kind of a wall because there's a ton of orders there. There might be even sell orders there, right? So we do see this coming into handy right now because this is taking them off guard. And if they're really taken off guard by something, you can see them kind of lag out the day. That's why I kind of like this behavior. But you can see in the past when something was really bullish, well, people were taken off guard, right? This is where everyone was bearish. So this was taking everyone off guard already, and it whips back around and you see something crazy the other direction. That can happen a lot. When the market maker gets taken off guard in one direction, you usually see a big move in the other direction soon, which is kind of funny. 550 on AMC to come. Hopefully there's no dilution towards 566. Almost a 10% move. Very good. Wolf starting to turn down a little bit. Looks like a 5-minute pullback would make sense for Wolf. Yeah, maybe fill a gap and turn back up. We'll see. Good thing I took profit at that line, right? Just in case. So if this thing flushes down, still make good money. I'm not seeing the signals anymore for this to really flush. I guess it's a massive move for that, so it could need some profit taking for a bit. Yeah. Damn, there's so much happening. Looks like SMCI and Mara are the two that I'm a little bit more like, ooh, those could turn down. Which Wolf has 5 minutes and 30-minute pullback could come. Let's see if it makes a 5-minute better one here. As far as this goes for the market, though, 5-minute down by the center line, see if that can curl up into positive territory. It's still relatively controlled, right? We're not seeing, unless we see that next downward move, then we'd maybe pay a little bit more attention. But for now, we want to see if this can whip back up. If the 30-minute can remain crossed, get to a key level, or just do this, turn back down, then do this. Could leak into the end of the week or even next week a little bit. But we were looking for the traps. Where were the traps? Well, trap was here, and then the other trap to the downside is actually more down in this area. It could have been a little one here with like a 30-minute continues to pull back and then turns up. But you're noticing that the more trap would be in here in a buy zone. All right, guys. It is time for me to hop off. I will most likely be going live later today, so make sure you turn those notifications on, okay? I will be trying to do a bunch of streams this week. I do have some extra time because of Thanksgiving allowing me to have a kind of a morning off, so we will be going over some stuff later on, most likely today, towards the last hour of the day if you would like to join back with us, and then we can go through the price action that happened throughout the day and see what's really shaping up. So I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for everything. I know, but we will be back. We will be back. It is a reaction in TLT, man, and that's kind of worrisome. Now you're seeing, hey, SPY and the dollar and the 10-year yield were moving in a positive correlation. Now you're seeing the 10-year and the dollar turn down pretty rapidly. So we'll see if that is something to pay attention to by later on this week. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I do appreciate it. Leave a like on the channel. Check out those links down in the description. Patreon, the courses 90% off, guys, for 6 more days. All right, get it while it lasts. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. GG's, GG's, GG's.